Hello everyone, it's your favorite safari addict, wildlife watcher, vlogger, whatever it is you want to call me. And this is my great friend Ellie, who's going to be joining me on these adventures.
Hello.
And welcome to the land of South Florida. This is a place I've never been before. I've been to Orlando once, but that was on a school trip, which doesn't count. So this is my first time experiencing natural Florida. So in this video, I'm taking you on an adventure to the Everglades. Right now, we woke up bright and early. This is my first morning, and we are parked just outside of the Everglades outpost, where I'm going to be doing a very exciting tour with a very well-known wildlife conservationist and social media personality, and doing a special kind of tour. We got here a little early though, so it is not even open yet, which is why I decided to vlog. So who is Ellie? Who's this person next to me? Yeah, so Ellie and I met in 2019 in South Africa. I volunteered at a wildlife research base and did that for a full summer, and Ellie was a full-time employee at that base.
I was.
So you were a wildlife research. I did a whole bunch of bitch work for you there.
The best kind.
Let's reminisce a little bit.
Okay, let's reminisce.
Yeah, so you were there for a whole year.
I was there for 3 years.
Oh my gosh.
I was there for 3 years, yeah. I went and I studied for 6 months, bushwise, and then I went and I worked at GVI where I volunteered 3 years prior.
So we were located on a private game reserve in the Greater Kruger area, and that was like one of the best experiences of my life. So as you can imagine, when you're living on a wildlife research base for weeks on end, and you only see these people every single day, you do everything with them. You become bonded for life. So that's what happened to us, like within a few days.
We became besties real fast.
Literally, you are sleeping together, you are eating together, you're doing research projects together. The only privacy you get is like 5 minutes in the shower each day, but then like someone's knocking at the door and like it's my turn.
Yeah, what an adventure.
So we were just talking about that whole experience. It was so amazing. Ever since, we've stayed in touch. So Ellie now lives in the Miami area, so she was the perfect person to link up with for this project because she knows this area, and she's also a fellow wildlife watcher. That's how we ended up linking up for this project, and I'm so excited that you're gonna be with me for all these adventures. So anyway, Everglades, here we come. Let the adventures begin. So this is what Florida is like. Wow. So we have about 40 minutes to kill, so we're gonna stop at the place that apparently has the best smoothies around.
Very well advertised.
Yeah, it looks like a fun little market.
Usually, this is nothing. Usually there's like, you can't find parking.
Really? Okay.
We're early.
We're early.
Miami doesn't wake up until like 11:30.
We are keeners.
Literally.
That's a good point, Ellie, because wildlife watchers, we are early risers.
We the ass crack of dawn.
Right, we get up before sunrise because we want to see the best wildlife sightings.
It looks so cute.
It's so Florida outside. Okay, so I have been so sunlight deprived because in Montana, where I'm based, it has been such a gray winter. Sorry, I'm just now noticing an emu.
I know, I noticed that too, a little petting zoo.
This is just getting more Florida by the minute. Anyway, as I was saying, I haven't touched sunlight forever. I'm so deprived. So like the sun just came out for a split second and I screamed. Ellie almost swerved off the road. I was like, I need to absorb as much of that vitamin D as possible.
You're gonna be flourishing. All your flowers will be blooming.
Right? Do you want to go check out this emu?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
So much is happening.
This is so chaotic. I don't really know how I feel about this place. I'm seeing like the entire domesticated animal kingdom in here. We're back. Did you miss us? I booked a tour called the Underwater Gator Tour, which is guided by Gator Boy Chris. And I don't know what to expect. He seems like a very outward personality. He dedicates his social media to educating people about Florida's wildlife, which is super cool. His videos are very daring. He's always seen with the alligators, with the crocodiles, and he advertised this underwater tour all the time. So when I knew I was coming to the Everglades, I was like, I gotta sign up for this tour. So that's what we're doing now. It lasts 45 minutes. He's kind of like a little bit of a celebrity. Sort of a celebrity. He's been on TV programs.
He's gonna walk out and we're gonna be fangirling. Like,
I know.
There he is, Gator Boy Chris.
I know. His videos have amassed millions of views. He was on Animal Planet, CNN, Fox News, all of these things. So I think that's where he got his initial fame. Anyway, he's very consistent about posting videos all the time. And the animal guest star that appears most often in his videos is Casper, who's a rescued American alligator, and that's who he swims with. So I'm about to go swim with Casper. I don't know what to expect. And she's gonna watch.
Forget that, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the adrenaline pumping adventures to Jeff. Oh, is that him?
Chris? That's him.
That's him.
Oh, we gotta act cool.
He's here.
Signing my life away.
We
At a
used
paperwork.
to literally walk with cheetahs.
Yeah, he'll come over sometimes with a big old stick across his face. So not just the gators and crocs and stuff, I do snakes as well. I used to do venomous snake shows, like when I was in Botswana, I caught a black mamba.
No way.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I caught a black mamba and a puff adder when I was there, so it was a lot of fun. So I always say a little bit of background on me, just so people, feel comfortable with me, because, if you don't know me and you're like, I'm trusting this guy to get in the water with an alligator. So I've worked with, dangerous predators my whole life. Now the gators, so Casper's the only one in here right now. We do move him in and out all the time. The tour area can have anywhere from just him to 15. I've done tours with 15 alligators in here once before. And so the gators that we have in here are wild-caught nuisance alligators. So a nuisance gator is one that shows up in a backyard, swimming pool, ate a dog, stuff like that. The state kills about 8,000 nuisance alligators each year. And it's not a nuisance gator problem, it's a nuisance person problem.
Exactly.
And this really comes up in a couple of ways. Number one, people feeding them. Once you feed them, they learn to associate you with food. You don't have food, you are food. Now, the interesting thing, though, is that alligators typically like to eat small animals, raccoons, turtles, fish, birds, stuff like that. They do not typically see humans as food. An adult human standing upright, we are not on the menu for them 99.9% of the time. But if you are swimming, what happens is, as a swimmer, you see his eyes are only about an inch above the surface. If he's looking out across the water and he sees you as a swimmer, all he sees is this. Top of your head, and this is a small animal, so they will absolutely come after you as a swimmer.
So you're never frightened when you swim with them in the wild?
I mean, it's not fear. It's like you realize what can happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that doesn't
you're
become an
aware.
intrusive thought when you're up close to them, or? So you are aware of the dangers.
It's normalized.
But it's not enough to keep you from swimming with them.
Yeah, it's normalized. I'm in the water with alligators at least twice a week, every week. It is my normal. I don't know, people always like, oh, what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you? It's like, first of all, why don't you tell me the worst thing that's ever happened to you and how you'd love to share your trauma, and then I'll share mine.
Okay, you're making such valid points.
He's wearing a hat.
Allow relocation of nuisance gators because of this. So the only two legal options are life in captivity or shot and killed.
Yeah, that's a huge problem in Montana with bears.
Yeah, same idea. Yep, same idea there. So the group that I work with, we've rescued over 500 over several years, which is pretty awesome. Nothing compared to the 8,000 a year that they kill, but we've rescued quite a few. So all the gators that you see in my videos and whatnot are these nuisance gators that are normally killed, right? So we try to give them a life instead. So another point that I really like to make is that what we're doing today is entirely voluntary on his part. So we're not going to make him do anything. We're going to ask him to do things. And if he chooses to do them, then we give him a treat. Now the importance there is just a treat. I'm going to give him a little tiny pellet. It's not diet. It's not his meal. This is an add-on. We're not keeping food from him and then giving him food because he needs it. Like that's a thing that many places will do, that you'll starve an animal and then it's really hungry and then you get to do what you want because it really needs the food. He doesn't need the food. Yeah. For one, we're giving him something this big, and for two, he's an alligator. He can go the next year without eating and he would survive if they can do that. This is him choosing to interact with us today and do the tour with us today because he wants to. Because we're gonna give him a little treat, but that's his choice. He doesn't need the treat, he's not hungry, and he doesn't have to do it. We're not going to make him do anything. And I think that's really cool.
We just spent the last hour hanging out with Gator Boy Chris, and we've been hearing all about his exotic stories from all around the world. Jungles, animals, fluffy, vicious, all of it. It's been very fun to pick his brain, but it's finally time to get in the water. How's it feel?
The water's not that bad. It's not warm. Come here, Casper. Come.
What are you doing?
Come on. I'm used to the water now.
And he'll just float here. And if he does it, no, he's gonna leave right now. end up coming back to, well, does that mean it won't attack? As everything focuses around attacking, right? So just because he ate doesn't mean that he won't still bite.
They look 12.
Yep. Yeah, wait till he's back over here.
Chris made a point that what he's doing is voluntary. So we kind of have to wait for him to come when he wants.
Come on. Good boy. Come on.
Here he comes. Do I look yummy?
Yeah. You know?
Well, the reason I asked is I was reading this thing about how they were here for ages.
I just put a treat up there. You see it on the side?
Yeah.
He's like, I know it's over there. See these little tiny black dots? Yeah. These are integumentary sensory organs right there. And so those are super sensitive to touch and pressure. And they're actually 10 times, burp right there, 10 times more sensitive than the human fingertip.
It's so cold. Layers. Oh, so cute. So pretty. We are finally warm. This is an abnormally cold day in Florida, right? It's not normally this cold.
No, I mean winter sometimes, but like it's cold. Shivering cold.
When I got in the water, I was shivering so bad. I was kind of embarrassed with myself. I was like, get over it, Jeff. You're from Montana. Like, you
and
know.
then he said something to you. Are you okay?
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Chris asked me if I was okay. He said I started to look purple. And I was like, I'm fine.
I was dying.
But anyway, that tour was super fun, super informative. I learned a lot. Chris is so passionate about what he does, and he's a very interesting character.
Very ethical as well. He's in it for the animals, not for anything else.
Yeah, because a lot of these places, roadside attractions, whatever, they have a lot of animals, and you know, they probably exploit them for many of the wrong reasons, but Chris was very thorough in his explanation that that is not his intention. So I give this experience a thumbs up, loved every second of it. And seeing this animal from an underwater perspective was super cool. So anyway, the Everglades adventures are just getting started. We haven't even made it to the park yet.
This is just day one.
This is just
Hopefully
day
no
one.
one loses a thumb.
If you're wondering why she said that, Chris told a lot of stories about people losing their thumbs, including almost his.
On day one.
On day one. So our thumbs are still here. We're now gonna go to a market, get some food, because we're gonna be staying at a campground.
A market as in like Walmart. We're going to Walmart. I need new windshield wipers. So like, look at them.
Hopefully it doesn't rain.
I mean, that'll be fun.
All right, we're gonna have some lunch here at the Everglades Gator Grill. Sources tell us that this place is pretty good, right?
Well, I don't know. I've never been here nor heard of it besides driving past.
Well, it looks very eye-catching.
I think they serve gator. After
Oh.
we swam with the gators, we're gonna go chomp on some gators. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I won't be ordering that. So as you can imagine, this place serves a lot of gator, but I feel like I might have somewhat of a moral dilemma if I ordered gator after that experience today with Gator Boy Chris and Casper, so I decided to get a pulled pork sandwich instead. Yum. What'd you get?
I got a mahi sandwich.
Mmm. Guess where we are? We're here. This is what it's like. Wow. So what do you know about the Everglades?
Not much.
Really?
I know that the pythons have taken over and there's like no small animals here anymore.
There's a lot of invasive species
No
here.
possums, no raccoons.
Well, lucky for you, I read a whole book about the Everglades to study up before this trip, so I'll tell you all about it. Should we enter?
Yes! There we go. Filming here all the time.
Oh, we will. Oh, we will for sure. My very own Everglades map. We are such nature nerds. We're here.
We've made it.
Wow.
Swamp.
Birds.
This is what reminds me of Africa.
Yeah,
Like the
it
wide...
really does.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had barbecue on my face and you didn't tell me?
You barbecue on your face? I didn't notice.
And you teach what age in school?
Okay, so I teach 7th grade, just general science, you know, all the earth science, life science, physical science. And then I also have elective science for high schoolers. So I teach marine biology, which I love. And then I also teach environmental science. So I'm teaching them about how we need to preserve everything. And then also experimental science, which is physics.
I have a scientist with me on board for this project.
I can teach you all about mangrove swamps.
Please do. So tell me one fun, cool fact about something right off the top of your head involved with wildlife management.
So if you see a panther, you're supposed to report it.
Do you think you have to report them because they're so rare and they want data
there's like
on them?
40 of them, 50 of them.
Really?
Yeah, they want to know like where they are, what they're doing, like what we did.
Yeah. Well, what I was reading about, I already said this to you earlier, but in the book I'm reading on the Everglades, they said that there was only about 30 in the early 1990s, and they were so inbred that the males were being born without testicles. So when you started watching this vlog, you probably didn't expect the topic to turn to panther testicles, but here we are.
Here we are.
But it's a really true thing. So they had to bring in panthers from Texas, from other states in the US to diversify the gene pool, because that's the only way to ensure their long-lasting survival. The purpose of this exercise was to put two minds together, details we know, and learn from it. Anyway, the adventures continue.
Yeah. And
Oh, I was saying it wrong. Oh my gosh, they're like right there.
Your dad. Turn around.
So Ellie, why does this look like a skeleton forest?
Well, Jeff, it's because these are actually conifers. So in the spring, they have needles. And they lose the needles, which is rare of conifers. They're not deciduous trees, but they lose their needles.
Really?
You can see the...
So they're winterized right now,
Yeah,
obviously.
they're very winterized. Same as me.
Same with me. So right now we're just about here, and we need to drive all the way to Flamingo Marina, Flamingo Visitor Center down there. So we have a fun little drive ahead of us. All right, we're now on a new trail. This is the Mahogany Hammock Trail. It's a little bit cozier with this overbrush. This is Ellie's favorite trail.
It is my favorite trail. It's better when it's sunny, but you know, it is what it is.
Wow. Africa, look out for the branch. Wow, oh, vine. Oh, leaf. I'm sick. I feel centered.
Yeah.
Ooh. Egret. Ellie is getting into the wildlife photography zone. This was just so pleasant. All right, we made it to the Flamingo Campground. I can see the tents we're gonna be staying in. Oceanfront property.
Oh, there it is.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Jeffrey?
Yes. Okay, we're Eco Tent 1. We are staying in an eco tent. These were really competitive to book, so I'm so glad I snagged this for 2 nights. This is base camp.
Oh my god.
So it's not a queen size bed or king size, it's a twin?
It is a double.
Good thing we're good friends, right?
Yeah. Sweet home with the teeny tiny I've ever seen.
We'll be fine. Ooh. It's so nice. Really does feel like a safari. And look, the ocean. We are now going to give you a tour of our eco tent. So here's the bedroom. You know, we joke about it being small, but this is all we need. This is all we want. We love the primitive lifestyle. And as you know, we lived on a very primitive base camp in South Africa for a long time. And we shared that base camp with things like tarantulas, snakes, scorpions, all of it. Lions, once a hyena. Sometimes elephants would rip up the plumbing. That was always fun to deal with.
I miss the safari life.
We're back. We're back where we belong. So we are not allowed to have any food or drink in here. They were very strict on that. But luckily, our tent is very close to the amenities. We have the bathroom just a 5-minute walk that way, and the dining area like literally right there. So it hardly makes a difference to us. She's freezing cold. You Floridian. So I am like perfectly cozy, and I think I see a little glimmer of a sunset happening. So I think we should definitely bundle up and take a little walk towards the water.
Yes.
To go explore the area, our new neighborhood. We are just setting up our kitchen. Nice. So for dinner tonight, we're having grilled cheese with meat. Well, I think we have everything, but we forgot to get cups, which means we're just gonna have to pass this around. Bon appetit. Here's our setup. It's getting a little dark now. All right, everyone. I hope you had fun following along on today's adventure vlog. I sure had fun. Ellie, did you have fun?
Yes. Can you see me?
I can. So in this video, we went on an underwater gator tour with Gator Boy Chris. That was super fun. Then we had a pit stop for lunch. We then entered the national park, went on a few trail walks, and now we're here in our eco tent. So we're off to a great start on this trip. Hopefully tomorrow's weather gets a little bit shinier, a little bit sunnier, but we have a full itinerary for the next few days. So if you want to follow along for the rest of our adventures here, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.
Good night.
Good night. We'll see you in the morning.